Happy Thursday, Oaklawn race fans, and welcome back to another fantastic week of live thoroughbred action. I'm Nancy Holthus, joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. We come off a very big weekend. We not only ran the Razorback Handicap, but also the Honeybee and the Rebel, and it was a perfect setting. The weather was beautiful, a lot of people coming out, a lot of people spending money at the windows. But Matt, what was your overall take from this past weekend?
Just a great week of racing. Everything that great racing encompasses. Good quality on the track, exciting finishes, the fans, per usual here in Arkansas and around the surrounding area of Arkansas. We get folks from Texas, Oklahoma coming
all
in.
Over.
They packed the grandstand for not just Rebel Day, but also Saturday. It was a big day for us. So all things considered, great weekend. It was everything a good racing weekend should be, with good fans, good quality on the track, good finishes, and good food as well along the way.
Very good food, and that is just kind of maybe a little glimpse into what it will be like here on Arkansas Derby Day. It's real interesting, as there have been ongoings in the Middle East, and right now not quite sure that Magnitude is going to be able to make it over to the Middle East to compete in his next start. We do know that there are a few horses already over there that came from some Saudi races last month, but yeah, it's not a good place to be in the world right now. So that's going to be interesting where they try to pivot. Maybe he'll come back in the our Oaklawn Handicap. We just don't know yet.
Yeah, it's sort of a wait-and-see approach. So we're taking a wait-and-see approach with all of these horses, because obviously no matter what you're doing in racing, whether it be on the track or off the track, safety is the most important thing. So there's a possibility that we could see a couple of big shooters that were planning to go over there maybe stay stateside and wait for something else. But there was some big news about the Oaklawn Handicap last week.
Ooh, do tell. With Sovereignty? Yes. Go ahead. Tell them.
Sovereignty, the Kentucky Derby and Belmont winner, is scheduled, if all things go well, according to Belmont, to come right here to Hot Springs to compete in the Oaklawn Handicap, one of the best in the world.
And we're also seeing White Abarrio potentially on that list of runners. And maybe, given what happened with Skippy Longstocking this past weekend, we might even see him back here. He was on a plane, I believe, California bound.
Yes,
maybe
for the Santa Anita Handicap.
And kind of threw a wingding, just kept kicking the stalls, just was not a happy camper. So they aborted takeoff, came back, unloaded him, and yeah, typically you don't see that kind of reaction out of horses that fly, because it is almost like a portable stall situation. I've only flown on a Tech Sutton Air Horse 1. I've never been on a FedEx plane or a KLM plane, but I don't like to see that, a horse getting that freaked out. 9 times out of 10, or even 9.9 times out of 10, it makes no difference to them if they're up 30,000 feet or in their stall. They act the same.
And sometimes when a horse is acting that way, you want to give them a full body scan, everything. As Safi Joseph actually discussed in an article, he said, we're going to go over the horse 100%, do blood work, do scans, make sure that he's not telling us something's wrong. I don't want to compete right now. So, of course, he won the Pegasus the last time he raced. He won our Oaklawn Handicap a couple years ago. So think about this. Can you imagine if we had a Kentucky Derby winner, a Breeders' Cup Classic winner in White Abarrio, a former Oaklawn Handicap winner? Can you imagine if they all came together and ran in this race? That would be one of the races of the year.
Yeah, that would be one hell of a field, and you never know, we might actually get that brought to reality. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with schedules here the next couple of weeks. We come off some beautiful dark days, and let's feel it's not as cool outside as it is in the studio. So let's go ahead and take a look at our weather page. We do have a fast track chance of showers and the thunderstorms. I'm thinking maybe closer to Saturday. Winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour, and it's 70 degrees. If you are going to handicap a few days in advance, you might want to pay a little closer attention to those with good off-track form, because right now it's about 80% chances of rain, and they're predicting maybe around an inch or just over. Let's take a look at our news page here this afternoon. Yeah, it's first day back in the studio. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here's a look at our leaders in the jockey division. Christian Torres has 36 victories. Ramon Vasquez, very much on his heels with 34, and Francisco Arrieta with a very impressive 30 victories. Leading trainers, not a surprise to see Steve Asmussen at the top with 29, Mark Casse with 20, and Randy Morris having a phenomenal meet himself as he is with 12 victories. Leading owners, Steve Asmussen with 9, Tom Durant with 7, and Randy Patterson with 5 trips to the Oaklawn Winner's Circle. And today is discount day. You got free parking, free programs, and $1 hot dogs. And that's every Thursday through the remainder of the season. And make sure you get your handicapping done in time, because there is a Classics carryover of $53,697. That's, I believe, 3-day carryover.
Yes.
Going into that pool.
2 or 3 days.
Yes. Friday, if you're a first responder, we personally invite you to celebrate all that you do for us regular folk. First responders will get a free lunch in the post parade, and then we'll have a trophy presentation for their respective outfit, whether it's the Garland County Sheriff's, the Hot Springs Police Department, Hot Springs Fire Department, but there's a lot of organizations that we just want to give a little gratitude and say thank you. So Friday is First Responders Day, and Saturday, very excited. We're going to do this rain or shine. Done at Oaklawn, I will be joined with trainer Mark Casse, who does have 2 to send out in this Saturday's Azeri, obviously the champion Nitrogen, but also her stablemate in La Cara. Also Saturday, it's Kids Day, so come on out. It's just our way of thanking our junior fans. Also, Win the Wheel and Champion Nitrogen does return in the Azeri. Matt, I haven't looked at Saturday yet. Has Nitrogen ever run over an off track to your memory?
I believe she has once or twice, but not very often.
Yeah.
And I think she won over a wet. Actually, you know what? It was, I don't know how wet it was, but the reason they ran her on the dirt was because she actually was a turf filly early in her career. A race got moved off the turf because of wet weather, and she flourished over it and ran even a better figure than the grass.
Light bulb went off. Yeah.
And then they said, what are we doing running this one on the turf when all the money's on the dirt? And all of a sudden, hey, she can run on dirt.
Yes.
So there you go. And she hasn't looked back since then. So I think she has run on the wet going. I don't know if it was super sloppy by the time the race went off,
right.
but definitely there was wet in the ground.
Yeah. So I don't think there's much she couldn't run over and just be an absolute standout. So really looking forward to this year's Azeri Stakes. We do. Oh, you had a podcast as well.
Yes,
that you
Out of
filmed.
the Starting Gate on YouTube. And we went solo this week. I steered the ship myself, but we talked about all things Rebel last week, some rising stars that are looking to be very nice horses down the line. And we also talked about a number of very good quality races this week. Every day we've got very good quality racing with our feature races. And I've even got a clocker pick at a price on Sunday for you. That's on our YouTube page. So make sure to subscribe to Oaklawn's YouTube page. And along with all sorts of other content, you can find my Out of the Starting Gate show each and every week.
We do want to welcome all of the attendees for the National HBPA Conference. They are in the event center, and some of the brightest minds in our industry who love the sport of horse racing. They invest in the sport of horse racing, not just with money, but with blood, sweat, and tears. It is our passion, and I had the distinct honor of introing the keynote speaker, Everett Dobson, who is head of the Jockey Club. So really good notes in his speech, whether it was about Lasix, about breeding, 2-year-olds, CAWs. There's going to be a lot of discussion here during the week, and I will be running back over to the event center after we wrap up Oaklawn Today to sit down with Jinx Fires, who is receiving the Living Legend Award. So very well deserved. So really looking forward to that.
And he is a living legend.
He is.
If you see him in the grandstand, stop him, say hello. He will talk to you.
Yes.
He is just a lovely guy and has been around a long time and a good horseman.
Very good horseman, and comes from, we often talk about horse racing being generational. Jinx is one of those. He does have a brother, Early Fires, who is in the Hall of Fame, and he's actually cousins with Perry Oots, the Ironman. So something in the water. What in the world is that?
There is a walking horse.
There's a
I saw that out the corner of my eye with glitter. What is this? Wasn't even an announcement.
He looks like a casino host. with the
Maybe.
with the silver jacket and everything. That's
I didn't know
on point.
racehorses like blackjack, but we learn something new every day, I suppose. So
I want that for Halloween.
you should. You'd fit great in that. What would Paul be if he dressed in that thing? That's the real question.
A trainer.
There is a
He'd say I'm a
horse
trainer.
out there with a glittery shirt and is trying to communicate with human beings.
That is awesome. Only at Oaklawn are you going to see fun stuff like that.
On a Thursday.
On a
no
Thursday,
less.
no less. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We do have 9 races on the card, some very talented runners in those 9 as well. But let's start off. Race number 1, the first leg of the 50-cent Pick 5. This is for Arkansas bred, 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since September 5th. They are all going to contest 6 furlongs in distance for a tag of $25,000. Matt, how do you see the opener?
Well, I don't have a strong opinion. I think the top 3 or 4 in the wagering right now, they're probably the horses to beat, and one of them will probably win. I went with Al's Romeo, who's currently co-favorite. Adding blinkers today for Shea Stewart after a very poor run. It was in a stake. It was without Lasix. Getting back on the Lasix here. Ran third 2 starts ago to Nikolai, a next out stake winner, touchdown Arkansas. So with that run in mind, if he can run something close to it, he's going to be plenty good in this race. In for 25. I don't think this is a suspicious drop. His form has been a little bit on the inconsistent side. The purses are good here at Oaklawn. He's getting a little older now, so I think they're just putting him in a spot where he can be competitive. The blinkers on is a little interesting because this horse hasn't worn blinkers in a long time. So with an older horse, that sometimes concerns me a little bit. Maybe they're looking to see some improvement with a equipment change with an old pro. But all things considered, I think he's the horse to beat in here.
I'm going to go just to the outside of Matt with the number 7, Azteca Warrior. I'm going to think that he probably needed that last out back in mid-December. That was also coming off a 5-month layoff. Now, because he certainly turned things around a few weeks later in January, wiring the field against Non-2 for the quarter. Now, he does exit the same race that many do return in this one, but he did flash some early speed last go, set a very quick pace, just kind of faded at the top of the lane, but was able to hold on for third and actually finished shy of 2 lengths behind King Peanut, who will break from that rail post position today. Now, others in the group, they flashed a little speed as well, but I do think it is going to be Azteca Warrior showing the way. So a really good opener with Arkansas, or with $25,000 Arkansas Breds. As we turn to race number 2, as this is the part of a 50-cent Pick 4 sequence. Maiden 16,000, 3-year-olds and up are going a mile and a 16th, and there's a handful of some professional maidens in this group.
There sure is. So I'm going to steer away from that, and I am looking for a lifetime start number 3, Ashburner. Third time's the charm, possibly, Nancy, here. This runner is by my standards out of a Kozan mare. The dam was a dirt router, one on fast and wet tracks. This is her lone foal. Tried turf a couple times in Texas for Ray Ashford, who's having a very good meet, by the way. And this runner was in maiden special weight races and sort of ran even force both times. Remember, coming from Texas maiden special weights, a little bit different than maiden special weights here at Oaklawn. But with that in mind, in for 16, I don't think this is a suspicious drop. I think he needs it. He was just a $4,000 purchase. I like that this runner has a lot of dirt pedigree. Third time's the charm for him. Rafael Bejarano in the saddle. And whenever I see Rafael on a horse, I know he's going to give a really hard effort.
One of the best in the business. I'm going to go to the further to the outside with the number 9, Bolt's Treasure. This one owned and trained by Steve Asmussen, Eric and the Irons. Now, he collectively does have a strong group of numbers and is a professional maiden, hoping to get the W in start number 20. He also debuts for the Asmussen barn off the maiden 12-5 claim, but he sat off the pace and was able to get up for second and actually finish behind a next out winner. That race contested at 6 furlongs. He stretches out for those new connections here this afternoon and does have a very strong foundation of 2-turn races in those previous 19 starts. Now, the barn does well not only when with runners first off the claim, but also when stretching them out and adding some distance. So I'm going to go with Bolt's Treasure, the number 9 in race number 2. Race number 3 is $8,000 claim for 4-year-olds and up, and they will contest a mile and a 16th in distance. And we did have a couple scratches out of this one, taking out numbers 8 and 10. 8 and 10 out of race 3.
Yes, and this is a race I don't have a strong opinion at all. And I picked Hawks Creek. I think this horse, second off a layoff for Armando Hernandez, could run a little bit better. Armando has always had extremely high numbers, second off a layoff under any circumstance with a layoff. 23% in this statistic from a 30-horse sample. It was third best last time out to Cozy My Boy, who I really liked that day, and I think he's a little bit better than the horses that we find in here. So if this horse can improve a little bit, facing a little bit of a lighter group, he's got a little bit of tactability to be fairly close in a race where there's not a lot of pace in it. I don't think he's going to be on the lead, but I think he's going to be right there, and the pace won't be fast. Could get the first jump on Rebellious, who is one of the horses to beat in here. Hawks Creek is the pick for me.
Well, my long shot play of the day is in here, race number 3, with the 3, and you can't help not say it like Matthew McConaughey, right on, right on.
Yeah, that was a good impression.
It's not like, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
This one coming from the barn of, that was dumb, coming from Chris Hartman, David Cabrera in the irons, and I have a sneaky suspicion we're going to start seeing David Cabrera a lot more in the winner's circle. Now, right on does take the drop in for the lowest tag he's ever competed, and sometimes you see that more often at Oaklawn here than at other racetracks because our purse structure is so good. He does exit a 9th sprinting against Open, $30,000 company. Now, obviously, the drop in class is a huge move closer to the winner's circle, but also the stretch out should benefit this runner as well. His last win did come 3 races back. Also, his last time racing a mile and a 16th and pressed the pace throughout against restricted $30,000 company. Also, that was the day he joined the barn off of the claim. I would love to see him forwardly placed again today, as there doesn't look like there's a huge amount of speed in the field. So I'm going to go with right on in race number 3. I'm going to be saying that all stinking day.
What movie was that from? I know the line, but I forgot what movie it was.
I think it's Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Never
seen
that movie launched Ben Affleck, Parker Posey, Matthew McConaughey, Ben Affleck. I mean, a who's who was in Dazed and Confused.
Must have had a good budget
Great.
to get
this
those.
was back in the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Still.
really cool movie. Race number 4 is the start of the $1 Classics Pick 6, and there is a carryover going into this of more than $53,000. It is maiden 33-year-olds set to go 6 furlongs in distance, and a really good field of 11 to start out this first leg.
Yeah, we like big fields here at Oaklawn, and you mentioned David Cabrera, maybe a jockey that'll come and find the winner's circle a little more often the next month or two. I picked him with Mr. Good Time in here. You know, this horse, I feel like he's either going to run well and win, or he's going to regress. He wheels back in just 2.5 weeks or so after I thought a very respectable effort at this level for maiden 30. Dueled in the lead, was out finished, but again ran a smart race, all things considered. Back in for 30 here. $100,000 sale purchase. So Chris Hartman put this horse in a spot where he could win, and he almost did. But what I like about this is Chris Hartman is statistically and just looking at it on the track, he's always been better with second-time starters, just has better numbers with them. So with that in mind, I feel like with the barn, this horse has a real right to improve. On the other side of the coin, I have seen a lot of horses that run really well on debut. They wheel back quick, and then they regress. So that is a concern.
I'm with Matt on here, concur, and just to add on to that, to piggyback, Hartman is 18% with runners second time out, and this runner is sired by Audible, who is 16% win average, also with runners second time outs. Sometimes you have to look at those statistics to really solidify your pick, and that's how I did that with mine.
Yeah, I think so.
Very strong numbers.
This horse, if he runs back to his last race, he looks like the fastest horse in the race. And he's drawn outside, too, so he could work out a good trip there.
Like that, yeah.
A lot of good things about this horse on paper. You just hope that he can run back to something like that.
Race number 5, before we take a quick break, this is for 3-year-olds. A first level allowance. Optional claim price is $25,000, and they will go 6 furlongs. A lot of stakes experience in this particular field. Do have 2 scratches, taking out number 4 and 9. 4 and 9 out, but still a pretty strong group going to the post. I wouldn't be surprised if, Matt, if all goes well, we might see some of these in sprint stakes down the lane.
I would agree, especially with Stradale, number 6, a horse they've always thought a lot of. I mean, this horse broke his maiden at Churchill Downs by open lengths 2 starts ago in a big field. Came back and ran 3rd behind Boyd, who's a pretty highly regarded Bob Baffert horse. I think he's probably going to turn to a miler sprinter type early in his career, but he's well regarded. Hasn't run back since then, but he's working. Stradale purchased for the pocket change amount of $1.3 million, so definitely not pocket change.
I don't even have the 0.1, so forget about the 3.1. I don't even have the 0.1.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of coin there for this Kaleem Shah-owned horse, and he's the horse to beat. I think he's just the fastest horse. I know Swung, who's in this race, very respectable horse. You've got a horse in here, Zeus's Echo, that was second best to Oscar's Hope in a race at Churchill in the fall, and Oscar's Hope has already run a stake here. So you get good horses here, but I think Stradale is still just a faster horse, and he freshens up here for Steve Asmussen. Look at this workout out of the gate, 58 flat out of the gate at Fairgrounds, which is not something you see often from Steve unless they have quality.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm on Stradale too. I like the fact that they like this horse so much that he even tested runners in the Grade 1 Champagne while still a maiden. So obviously thought very highly of this horse at some point, but he does exit a 3rd in that Ed Brown, also sprinting at Churchill. Now, while he does give up some recency, the barn excels on getting this type of runner back in the action. Does look to settle off the early speed, but Steve has 2 contenders in here. He also sends out the number 1 Strong Potential, who breaks from the rail. So a really good field for race number 5. But before we get to race number 6, we're going to take a quick break here on the Discount Day Thursday edition of Oaklawn Today.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Feeling lucky? Get ready to find your pot of gold at Oaklawn. Swipe your ID on live race days to earn entries into our $17,000 Lucky Loot drawing. On Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, your swipe earns you double entry. And on Saturdays, a single entry. Drawing day is Saturday, March 14th, and you must activate your entries by swiping your ID before the start of race 7 to be eligible for the final drawing. After races 1 through 7, 5 winners will be called to claim prizes ranging from $300 to $1,000 each, all part of Oaklawn's Lucky Loot celebration, where 35 winners will share $17,000 in cash. Shamrocks, swipes, and some serious cash. Lucky Loot brings the luck of the Irish right here to Oaklawn, so don't miss your chance to find the pot of gold.
As we return on this Thursday edition of Oaklawn Today, don't forget discount days, free parking, free programs, and $1 hot dogs. I just saw somebody go by that had a box of them. I think they're probably taking those to the racing office. So we definitely appreciate all of the food that everybody does provide.
They earned it, the folks in the racing office. They work very hard to get our races to go here in good races, and they're always on the phone hustling.
Yes.
I would expect nothing less of a Pat Pope-run racing office.
True that. Let's take a look at our next race coming up, as this is for 3-year-old fillies, a maiden allowance condition at 1 mile and 1/16. And this is 2 scratches, taking out numbers 7, and 10. 7 and 10 are out, as this is the first leg of the last 50-cent pick 4 on the program.
These scratches really helped my top pick, Cognizant, number 11. Now she's in post 9. We saw it with Taken by the Wind and the Honeybee. Still, when you get 9, 10, 11, you got to work out a trip from out there going 2 turns. But Cognizant is a total trip play. First time out, she ran an even third in a race where the winner, Agrippina, pretty nice filly for Lindsay Schultz. And then Cognizant came back routing. She's by Silver State out of a Tappet mare, half sibling here to Disarm, who is a very nice horse. And the pedigree says she wants no part of sprinting, only routing. This filly had a ton of run at the quarter pole, a ton of run in upper stretch, was blocked, had nowhere to go, an ultimate trip play, second time routing, which I like. A horse gets some route experience, and then they end up routing. Second time out, and they do even better. So Cognizant is my pick in here. Hopefully with a better trip today. I think this filly is very live.
Matt and I have the same top 3, but in a little different order, as I'm going to use the number 2 Rockin' Robin as my top pick. Christian Torres back in the irons for Mark Casse. This has proven to be a very productive jockey-trainer combination here at the meeting. Was second to stablemate Search Party 2 races back. Now, we all know that Search Party came back to win the Martha Washington, but Rockin' Robin does exit a bit of a troubled trip. She was bumped at the break, had a ton of horse down the backstretch, and really nowhere to go. She was pinballed in the lane a couple of times. She did finish 5th as the favorite, but because of all that kind of pinball action, she was moved up to 4th place due to a disqualification. And this is a really interesting group because a lot of these runners tend to run against each other kind of throughout the duration of the meet. And my top 4 all come out of the same race. So sometimes you see very, very productive races, and I think that is going to be one of them. Several graded stakes winners return in the field for race number 7. This is a ratings handicap, 88 down to 78. Still haven't figured out a whole lot of handicapping on this one. It's almost like taking a horse by horse basis, I think.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing.
I agree.
4-year-olds and up, they're going to go 1 mile and a 16th. And unfortunately, massacred with scratches. Therefore, with this field of 4, there is no show and no superfecta wagering. I'm going to guess that they are all afraid of the number 1, who is a grade 1 stakes winner, but does give up recency. That's Saudi Crown, Luis Saez, for trainer Brad Cox.
Yeah, the Saudi Crown, he's going to be, uber tough in here. He was going to be tough as it was, but now the pace presences are all out of the race. He should be loose on the lead here. I just don't think this horse is going to lose if he gets a clear lead and runs his race. Now, he is coming off a layoff of 7 months. Who knows? But we have seen this horse be able to stick around with pressure on the lead. So without pressure, I think that only helps him. Look, Brad Cox has mentioned we're ready for him to run. We're looking for a spot to run. This race came up. He's running in it. Luis Saez with the call today, a top jockey there. It's, as you mentioned, it's funny because it is a 4-horse field, but it looks like a stakes field when you look at the 4 horses in the race. But he's the horse to beat in here, and good luck catching him on the lead. That's what I would have to say.
Well, if you look at his form, he has faced a who's who in regards to the older division. He's taken on White Barrio, Full Serrano, Skippy Longstocking, Vanishing, just to name a few.
Mystic Dan here
Mystic
last year.
Dan here a little bit ago. But Cox says he's training very well, ready to run. But I do like the fact that he's been prepping for this runner down in South Florida at Palmettos, where some of his better horses are getting prepped for coming off of layoffs like this. So the barn excels also when getting this kind ready to go not just back to the races, but back to the winner's circle. So Saudi Crown certainly looks to be the one to beat and the best in race number 7. Race number 8, another really good field for our afternoon feature. This is 4-year-olds and up, a second level allowance, optional claim price, $62,500, and they're going to sprint 6 furlongs, scratch 6, scratch 9, but still a very solid field.
Still a good field here, and Stiglitz, boy, you want to talk about a horse that has just improved in his last couple of starts. And last time out, he put it all together with a 6-length win at the first level allowance condition, freshens up 2 months for Phil Diamato. This horse got a 107 Beyer, stopped the clock in 108.4, which here on this track is fast. Today, the track has sped up the last month or so in terms of time, but back then, the track was not super speedy. So to run that fast, it was a graded stakes caliber effort. Now, can he run back to that? I don't know. There is other pace presence in here. He's freshened up 2 months, but he comes out of a race in which there were 2 next out winners. And look at this, Vital Mind. This tells you how good that last race is. Vital Mind won his next start, a first level allowance. He's 4-1 in this race, and Stiglitz beat him by 6. So the key here is Stiglitz being sent from the rail. If there's not a crazy speed duel in here, I think Stiglitz is going to run well again. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to run that good. It'll be hard to put back-to-back together like that, but if he can run to his best or somewhere close to it, he'll be tough.
Yeah, I think it's been a long enough time period that did come from his last go, which came in early January, and that he kept that 107 Beyer speed figure, the top number in the industry this year until this past weekend with a stakes winner at Gulfstream who took a 112. So really impressive. But Stiglitz has been all speed, and we've kind of seen this more, I think, Matt, this meet than ever before. Horses having turf form, then coming over to the main track here, and it's like that light bulb goes off. I don't know what the transition is or how the training is maybe different, but something happens when they get here. Maybe it's in the water. Who knows? We are in Hot Springs National Park. But really in front and impressive that finished in front of Vital Mind, going 108.4. And that last race did produce 2 next out winners. And race 8, fun fact, thanks to the Daily Racing Form, Vital Mind is named after Julie Asmussen, Steve's wife.
Really?
I love that. She's an absolute doll.
Let me tell you something. They named the horse after her name. She's a Julie. He was not only a good broodmare, but she was a graded stakes horse. So I would imagine whenever they name a horse after Julie Asmussen, they think the horse can run a little bit.
It's going to be a good one, yeah.
And purchased for $600,000, this horse has shown that the purchase price, who knows, maybe will be worth it down the line if you can get some stud value there. This horse can run, but Stiglitz is the horse to beat.
I agree wholeheartedly. The nightcap is for Arkansas-bred 3-year-olds and up. Maiden claiming $50,000, and they will contest a mile and a 16th. Several are actually going to test the configuration for the first time today. And Scratch, the horse on the rail, who I was really looking forward to seeing compete, is no longer in the field. That does leave a field of 11 to close us out.
It does, and I think Mr. Fahrenheit, the morning line favorite, will enjoy getting to a route of ground. That said, my top pick in here is a little bit of a price on the morning line. Great Taps at 10-1. This horse first time out didn't do much against open companies sprinting. Has a lot of route pedigree. Tried the route game last time at the state bred $40,000 level. This is state bred $50,000. Not really a difference. It's just the tag's different, the purchase price if you want to claim a horse. This horse drew post 11 of 11. You know how hard it is to win from out there going a mile and a 16th. This horse went at a really fast pace, dueled on the lead, 23-1, 47-1 outside, and just got tired. Crossed the race out, bad trip, bad post. I give this horse a pass. Second time routing with Rafael Bejarano for the first time. Rafael is one of the go-to riders for Randy Morse this season, so I'm imagining Great Taps very much has a right to improve here and will be an okay enough price, I think.
I'm going to go a few stalls outside of Matt with the number 9, Mr. Fahrenheit. Ron Moquette, legging up jockey Keith Asmussen, showed major improvement just a few weeks ago, coming off the shelf, and did take on state breds and drop in for the tag. He settled early in that 6 furlong run, kept down on the lane to run 4th, just beaten shy of 2 lengths. Also that day, did get the addition of blinkers. Now he's going to get some pedigree support for the stretch out today. Sired by Upstart, who is 16% with runners routing at first asking, and the barn does well, also firing with a 14% success rate when adding some real estate. So a really decent card here for a Thursday afternoon. Real quickly, I want to get through our prop bets and everything because I've got something to share with our fans. Let's go ahead and take a look, Cody, at our $20 show bet bonus parlay.
There it is, Nancy, your ones today.
I did it. I did it. I think in the first, King Peanut is not my top, but he is in my picks. So if they're not on
you
top,
can do that.
Thank you. Matt's going to also go with the opener with Owls Romeo, Cognizant, Saudi Crown, and Stiglitz. Matt's long shot play of the day, Randy Morse's Gray Taps in the 9th. And I'm going to go race number 3 with the 3, Right On, Right On. Top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Matt is going to go to Stradelli in the 5th, and I'm going to look to Saudi Crown in the 7th coming off the layoff. So one of the things that we're very proud of is our viewers. We wouldn't be here without the fans, the gamblers. They mean a lot to us. This was brought to me in my office yesterday and came in as labeled for Matt Dinnerman and Nancy Holthus, Bob Bainter in Edwardsville, Illinois. And
Hi, Bob.
I just want
if
to
you're
share this
watching.
with you. This meant so much. Hi, Matt and Nancy. Just wanted to tell you how much this 83-year-old enjoys your show. I try to never miss it. I have followed horse racing since Native Dancer, 1953, and I've included my favorite 20 horses, not necessarily the best, as in Phil's and Jeff and Missouri Gent, both Cahokia Downs defunct, and Fairmount Park. I wrote the racetrack column before John Scully for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in the early 80s. I did the same for San Antonio Light, who was a Class A track, Bandera Downs in Texas, 91-92. I spent time over brews with the very fun and capable track announcer, Don Alexander. Keeping with the theme, I wrote and published the tip sheet tack room in the mid to late 1980s at Oaklawn. Cece was in charge of the sheets trackside, and I enjoyed working with her. I was also about 30 outlets around the town also. Keep up the good work. And by the way, here are your winning percentages. Matt is 20. This is amazing.
I love it.
Matt is 22% on top and 41% from top 2. Nancy, 26% on top, 38% top 2. Congrats to Nancy for 7 top winners on opening day. Best wishes, Bob Bainter. Bob, this is
Thank
why
you,
we do
Bob.
what we do.
Oh, it's just so
trying
much
to get
fun.
out the information to our fans, to the public, and Miss Phyllis Hall, another amazing
Hi, Phyllis.
promoter of the show, Oaklawn Today. She's got all the in. She's always posting about Oaklawn and what's going on with her. So we really do appreciate all the kind words, Bob, in Edwardsville, Illinois. I just thought that was really special that he took time to write a letter.
Oh,
And who
we were
writes a letter?
talking about that yesterday
Yeah.
when you showed me the letter.
Just very
taking the time
heartfelt.
to pick up a pen and paper, write a heartfelt message. It really is special. And I've got mail as well, and it's just really a lovely thing for an analyst when you can connect with viewers and fans, because we are all fans at the end of the day. So this is one of the great things about our game, is being able to meet people from all walks of life, from all different places. You meet people from across the world that know who you are or know your racetrack, and you all have the shared love for this game. So
It's funny
awesome.
because this coming weekend is traditionally when I get to go to Barbados for the Gold Cup, not going this year. But I was at dinner with some friends last time I went, and hear from across the restaurant. And now, mind you, this is a restaurant in an alleyway, you know. This gentleman walks up to me. It was Robert Geller, the track announcer from Woodbine.
My friend Robert,
we got
what
to,
a great
we got
guy.
to chat for a few minutes, but you never know where those connections are going to come from. And that's what makes this industry so special. You can go anywhere and find somebody you know. You might not like them, but you're going to find somebody.
We try to like everybody in our line of work, Nancy. We try.
We try. And sometimes, you know, fans will come up to us, man, you had a great day. And I've had just as many people come up, man, you really stuck it today, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, I did, you know. So at least we got a little job security. We're like weathermen.
Yeah, it's not easy. I always say, look, if it was that easy, we'd probably just own a beach house somewhere on one of the coasts, maybe get a Hamptons home along the way. So
I like that.
I wish we could just come here and pick winners all the time. That's why, though, when you do pick winners, it feels that much more special.
It absolutely
because
does.
you can be humbled in this game. You will get humbled.
You will
in this
get
game.
humbled in this game. Yeah, that's inevitable. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. Remember, First Responders Day tomorrow. If you are a first responder or know of a first responder, tell them that we are celebrating them tomorrow. Free lunch in the post parade and winner's circle presentations as well. So lots going on this weekend. Very excited to be back, and a lot more live racing throughout the remainder of the meet. For Matt Dinnerman, I am Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.